Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Authentic Podcast with Justin Doulard. And thank you for tuning in to another episode. And now, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Another genuine conversation with a unique individual. It's time!
All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, we got an Oklahoma native who is officially a UFC fighter as of a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Jimmy the Brick Flick. Jimmy, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, not much, man. Just got done getting some work in now, getting ready for bed and back at it tomorrow.
Dude, so about probably 4 to 5 years ago, you probably know, I watched you fight at River Spirit or the Hard Rock. Can't remember which one it was, but so me and the wife were watching Contender series and did not know you were on there. And then we recognized your name because your name is not one that you would easily forget. So we were pretty pumped to see someone from Oklahoma on the Contender series, man. So obviously, for those who don't know, Jimmy won the fight, got a contract offer from Dana White. So, dude, what has life been like since that happened?
Man, it's been great. Yeah, I've fought at both Hard Rock and River Spirit Casino. So been fighting all over Oklahoma, all over Texas, New Mexico, Las Vegas now. So, man, it's been awesome, dude. It's been an awesome experience to go through the Tuesday Night Contender. Got all that Tuesday Night Contender gear now. So it's going to be some awesome memorabilia to have. And now I'm ready to get in the USC, get that Reebok gear, and then next year get that Venom gear.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, congratulations on the win. It was awesome. They said you had the record for most takedowns on a Contender series fight. Is that correct? Or the most attempted?
Most submission attempts. And they only gave me 6, but, I mean, I got like 10 or 15 of those. But, hey, it's whatever. But, yeah, we broke the record for most submission attempts on the Tuesday Night Contender.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So you're 15-5 overall, correct?
Yes, sir.
1-0 Bellator, 3-0 in Legacy?
Yes, sir. All 3 fights in LFA have been finishes.
Yeah, I remember you said you've only been to the table twice. You're not a big fan of going there, obviously. So how do you get on the Contender series? I know I watched a clip of you, and you told me that you were a #1 alternate several years ago. How does that work? Do you just apply and you're accepted, or you've been waiting this time?
On the Ultimate Fighter, yeah, they have sign-ups, and you get all the info, and you sign up for it, and then you show up at the Ultimate Fighter. I ended up going through a big process with rolling, doing jiu-jitsu, hitting mitts, an interview process, and then all the medicals, and then I ended up being a #1 alternate. They flew me out. I made weight. That was for season 18 of the Ultimate Fighter with Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate, and then never got the opportunity, man. And then had some stuff happen with my career, and then I turned back around and got a couple win streaks going. And then after this last fight, when I won the LFA title, the UFC took notice, and I had my manager get in touch with them, and they offered us the fight on 4-week notice versus Nate Smith for the Tuesday night.
You cut 20 pounds, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what I cut, about around 20 pounds all in all. Not all in like 1 week or anything, over time, I walk around about 45. That's why I don't like to fight at 135, because I'll make that weight cut on 1 day's notice, no problem.
1 day? 20 pounds?
No, the 10 pounds to 135.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
125, I do that over time. That's why I like training camps. I've done it on a week's notice before, but we prefer to have a training camp for sure.
Gotcha. So tell us a little bit about the experience of the Contender series, getting a call and then flying out there. And, did you get to talk to Dana much, or is he just kind of on the back end? Or I know he gives you your contract, but I didn't know if you got any one-on-one time with him or not. He was really impressed with your fight. So.
Yeah, man, we got out there a week early for media and stuff since I took the fight on short notice. It was pretty much quarantined up in the hotel. They had a workout facility for me to use, a portable sauna, my own rooms. Really didn't get to do much, but they took great care of us. It was pretty awesome. Me and my coach up there for a whole week, got adapted to the altitude, and it was an amazing experience. And as for Dana White, no, I didn't get to see him much, man. Seeing him shortly after, he told me congratulations on the contract and he'd see me in the UFC, and that was about it. So
That's awesome, man. So you've been a pro for a decade, right?
yeah, I turned pro in 2010 in Bellator 20. They're on Bellator 200 and something. I was the first flyweight to fight out of Bellator, and I fought 6-2 Humberto De Leon, and that's the only guy I'd never finished. I fought him twice, and I beat him both times by a decision, once in Bellator on my pro debut, and then once in a 5-round decision for a title in a company called IXFA.
So you've been fighting for a decade as a pro, trying to get to the UFC. And I know you work full time. I know you got 2 kids, a wife, and everybody's super busy. How did you go? How did you go 10 years before getting into the UFC? I feel like that's, I don't know, just the true epitome of diligence and dedication. And did you ever hit a point where you're like, maybe this isn't for me, I'm going to stop? Or did you just knew this was going to happen and you just kept on?
Oh man, I never wanted to stop chasing it, but I had some up and downs, from, starting my family, working a full-time job. I got some injuries. I had to move up in weight class to 135 because we thought 125 was getting cut. So I was up and down in weight classes, coming back from injuries, and working a full-time job, and finally got it all together. My wife's very supportive, helped me out a lot, and kept driving me to keep pursuing my career because we knew we could make it. We just had to stay dedicated and keep pushing, and it just took a little longer than most, but I think that gives me more experience going into the UFC. I've fought a lot of guys. I have an opponent combined record of like 146-40. So I fight really good opponents. I fought some tough opponents, UFC vets, guys that are currently in the UFC. So I think it helps me out a lot, and it took a long time, but it was well worth it.
Absolutely. I know you said that your bio says that you were a 5-time state run-up in wrestling, and you're a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. So obviously you're pretty good. But was there a breaking moment when you started this journey when fighting that you were like, I can do this, I can make it? Did you have like a defining moment, or you just knew from the get-go, like, hey, I'm going to chase this and see how it goes?
Man, at 17 years old, I dropped out of school, and my dad told me, he was like, I'm getting you into the jiu-jitsu and I'm going to get you into fighting. And I moved from Oklahoma to Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm actually heading down there tomorrow to actually get my black belt. So I'll be getting my black belt this week. It's been a long road to get my black belt as well, and moving back to Oklahoma kind of put the effect on that as well. So it's all been awesome. I'm trying to take it all in. It's been a long road, and I'm just happy for my experience, all the experience I have from jiu-jitsu to wrestling, and I knew it was for me, so for sure. So when I made a decision to move down to Texas and pursue this as a career, I did it, and had some little setbacks, had a family and everything, but never gave up, man. And now I've proved to everybody that it can be done.
Absolutely. So when you reference talking about going from the flyweight division, maybe bumping up, is that because you referencing the UFC when Dana said he was going to cut the division, but Henry Cejudo kind of saved it, or was that in one of your other promotions?
No, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I was on a 2-fight win streak at flyweight, and then the UFC was talking about cutting the flyweight division. I moved up to bantamweight. I took a loss to Ray Rodriguez, who's currently in the UFC now, and then the UFC said they were not going to cut the flyweight division. So we went back to flyweight, and we won 2 fights this year, finished both opponents. And now I'm in the UFC in the flyweight division.
Yeah, man. If you happen to run into Henry Cejudo, Triple C, you got to give him a thank you. I think he kind of saved that division, man. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So yeah, it was awesome, man. And I'm excited, man. And I think we got a great flyweight division now. Cody Garbrandt's coming down to flyweight. It's going to keep a lot of eyes on the flyweight division. And I'm excited to see what happens with that fight November 21st.
Who were some of your active fighters on the roster that you kind of idolize and look after or look up to?
I like Juicy Faniga. That's a guy I've always looked up to. He is the number 1 ranked flyweight for a long time, especially when I started the career. So I really want to I would really like to fight him. He's like one of my idols at flyweight. And a bigger weight class, though, I've always followed Donald Cowboy Cerrone. He's one of my favorite fighters. I've went out to his training camp out at the Tap Out Ranch, or when it was the Tap Out Ranch and or the Tap Out House. I went out there many, many years ago, like 9 years ago after my Bellator debut. And then I trained out of there for my second pro fight. I stayed in his house. And so that's a fighter that I've always looked up to and kind of like to bring that style, fight a lot, go forward, be action-packed, and bring the fights and hopefully get a bunch of bonuses like him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's, like you said, highly entertaining, and he's ready to roll at all times, usually fighting 4 or 5 times a year, turns around and gets after it. So how has your full-time job been with this? Obviously they're pretty lenient with you taking this time off to do that. Are you still going to try and work full-time, or is now that you're UFC signed, are you trying to transition into doing that full-time?
I'm going to work for a little longer, man. My job has got 401k. It's got benefits, UFC don't come with that. It's like I'm making $100,000 right off the bat, so we got to make our way through the flyweight division, start making more money, start promoting myself. And I always do that. I always promote myself. I sell shirts. I got sponsors that support me. Really appreciate all my sponsors for the help. And I just I gotta focus on, what's good for my kids in the long run. And until I can, solidify myself in the flyweight division and re-sign a contract later down the road, we're going to keep working, probably go to part-time though, but keep providing for my family as much as possible.
Yeah, I know you're a big sponsor advocate. I see all your stuff that you're sharing on Instagram and Facebook, giving those guys a shout out. So either now or towards the end of this, if you want to give some more out, you're more than welcome to. I think it's awesome that you're, the people that support you, you're supporting them. So now, is Oklahoma going to be home even though you just turned pro? Are you going to stay where you're at, or is there any type of relocation you might be looking into?
No, I'm very happy with where I'm at. My coach over at Forza Combat Sports, Leo, we've brought in wrestler Cody Carstetter, which is a college wrestler, and he teaches class there now. I'll be running the jiu-jitsu program. I also jump all over Oklahoma and get work in. So I'm super excited staying here with Oklahoma. I'm going down to Corpus for the weekend. I might occasionally jump into some other places for weekends or something when available. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I've been killing it here. We do sprints. We do our endurance training. We do all kinds of everything. My coach is on top of me from my eating to my wrestling to not working too much. So I'm excited with what I got. My cardio was amazing in that last fight, and it's only going to get better. So I'm more than ready just staying here in Oklahoma and being prepared.
Yeah, you looked great, and you're probably going to put Oklahoma on the map. I don't think there's a lot of UFC fighters out of Oklahoma right now. There might be a couple, but not a whole lot, I would imagine.
Chase Roundtree, a 170er is in the UFC from Pawnee, Oklahoma. And then we have that Sarah girl that just fought, and then the Raging Panda. So 2 females and 2 males that I know of. So there's 4 of us. So, but yeah, man, I'm looking to go out there and make a statement and put Oklahoma on the map. We got us noticed in the Tuesday night contender, and now it's time to go do it in the UFC.
Yes, sir. Got a couple more minutes for you. I know you got to wrap up. You got work to do and all kinds of stuff, but was going to ask you, when you're on the Contender Series, you win the fight, you get a contract. What does that contract consist of?
It consists of so many fights over a certain period of time.
So is that a 2-fight deal, a 3-fight deal? Is it contingent upon your wins and your losses?
The UFC works in mysterious ways, and don't really know what I can and can't say. But all I know is, I mean, it's either a certain amount of fights or a certain amount of time, and whatever comes first or whatever they want to do is the circumstance. So hopefully it's more fights in a short period of time. But the UFC controls everything, and I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah, great answer, man. Unfortunately, I figured that was kind of the answer I was going to get. I appreciate you telling me anything you can, and was going to ask about the news you had on your Facebook. I know you're probably not going to be able to tell me the news, but when are you going to tell everyone the news? Because you said yesterday it was coming soon. So,
oh, it's coming, man. Let's just say that if everything goes as planned, and we'll be fighting before the end of the year.
great news, man. Your story's awesome. I really enjoyed it. I know you said your family had issues with substance abuse, and you dropped out of school, and jiu-jitsu kind of turned your life around and built you a career, and now you're a pro, man. So really looking forward to watching you, and glad I was watching Contender Series that night. So I won't keep you much longer. If you've got anything else you want to say, some motivation to some up-and-comers or some people who have been at the grind, and if you want to give a plug to your sponsors, otherwise I can cut you loose, man.
Yeah, man. I just I appreciate all the support. Everybody that follows me on my fan page, Jimmy Brick Flick, Twitter at Jimmy Flick. I got Instagram at the Brick MMA. And I just, like I said, 17 years old, made some bad decisions. I never gave up. My parents were involved in drugs, my brothers, my sisters. I was the youngest out of 5 kids, and I lived a tough life, but I just kept pushing forward. And, I had motivation to accomplish something in life. And now I can say I did it. And I want to be a motivational speaker, on down the road, to come talk to kids, to tell them what I went through, and, show them if you grind hard, you believe in yourself, things will come true. I mean, it took me 10 years, but I never gave up, and we're here, And, I would like to say shout out to all my sponsors for the support. Harvest Health, the Plug 918, Big Elks, Core Hog, HKA USA, Off the Main, Sand Springs, Primary Colors, Retro Relics, Keystone Chevrolet, Thunderkick Tulsa, Evolved Health and Wellness, Simpsons Truck Lining, Tulsa Sport Acupuncture, Fighting for Autism, Code Zero Customs, Forza Combat Sports, Blue Line Signs, Ryan and Rose Roofing, CrossFit Sand Springs, Michael with New York Life, Seth from Keller Williams Realty, Broadway Barbershop, My Job Tulsa Plastics, Midwest Extract, All Britain Plumbing. Without all these sponsors, it'd be hard to, work less and pursue my career. And I really appreciate all of them. And I thank you for having me on and doing this interview, man.
Yeah, brother, absolutely. Super happy for you. Great story. We're looking forward to watching you fight. And I got one last question. When and where can we get some merchandise? I got to get a shirt. So.
Yeah, follow my fan page and my Facebook. My Facebook, I'm at a personal friend request. So if you can follow my fan page, I take shirt orders for about a month on pre-order. I'll drop out the mock-up soon. It's a pretty dope shirt. We're not quite done with the mock-up. We'll have it done soon. They'll probably be around $20, $25 a shirt. You pre-order the shirt, and then you're guaranteed a shirt. So if you need shipping, it's just an extra $5 for shipping. I take down all your info. You can pay through PayPal, Facebook Pay, and we'll get everybody taken care of.
All right, man. Good deal. Well, once again, Jimmy the Brick Flick, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I'll be looking for that merchandise order, and I'll be looking for that fight news, man. So keep it up, and good luck, and have fun in Corpus Christi this weekend.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too, brother.